Yo, what's going on? I hope you guys are having a great day today, because today we're talking about something that is admittedly not too great, and that is the performance of Borderlands 4. I already made a video talking about the performance problems in Borderlands 4, but today we're actually talking about the response from the man himself, Randy Pitchford. And obviously we're covering it because it is incredibly bad, like worse than I could have imagined. And we're talking about Randy Pitchford here, so I imagined it would be pretty bad. But not this bad. Code your own engine and show us how it's done. Randy Pitchford goes on the offensive as Borderlands 4 PC performance row intensifies. We will be your customer when you pull it off. You know, you could use this time where you're bitching at us for complaining about the bad performance to actually fix the bad performance. Just a suggestion. Like, what the fuck did this dude expect? He launched a game that can barely run on most gaming PCs out there, and now he's surprised that people are upset over it? Like, yeah, when I spend $70 US on a video game, I expect it to run well. Because there are countless indie devs out there that provide good-looking games that also run well for a fraction of the price. Randy Pitchford is on the offensive when it comes to Borderlands 4 PC performance, responding directly to complaints on social media to claptrap back at disgruntled fans. Ah yes, because this is exactly how a AAA studio should treat its fans. Fans that are bringing up legitimate complaints to try to make the game better because they want to enjoy it. And you got Randy here acting like a middle schooler trying to quote-unquote roast these people or whatever. It's so stupid. Fresh from his confusing comments about the reason why the console version of Borderlands 4 lacks a field of view slider, and his declaration that it would have been impossible to break the Borderlands 4 servers through sheer weight of player numbers alone at launch, the outspoken Gearbox chief spent time this weekend addressing the complaints about Borderlands 4 performance on PC. At various points on social media, Pitchford told people to code your own engine and show us how it's done, please, and declare Borderlands 4 a premium game made for premium gamers. He also suggested people put their irrational distrust of video game graphics tech such as DLSS aside and use it if available to them. There's plenty to dig into here, but ultimately what Pitchford is saying is that PC gamers should manage their expectations when it comes to the performance of Borderlands 4 in the context of their own rigs. So basically, this is just him saying, yeah, just use DLSS because we couldn't be bothered to optimize the game to run natively, and upgrade your fucking computer, brokey. I mean, Griffin Gaming, a YouTuber who has the best GPU and CPU money can buy, made a video complaining about the performance of this game. If the best computer money can buy cannot run this game well, we can't really upgrade our rigs. The game is just poorly optimized. I mean, I see people with 5090s unable to reach a solid 60 FPS playing without upscaling. There is something fundamentally wrong with the performance of this game that Randy obviously is coping about and does not want to admit. I also find it hilarious that he calls this a premium product for premium gamers when it's sitting at mixed reception on Steam right now, and is filled with game-breaking bugs and crashes. Every PC gamer must accept the reality of the relationship between their hardware and what the software they are running is doing, he said, kicking off a thread clearly designed to address the performance issues that have sparked so much early discourse around Borderlands 4. We have made an amazing and fun and huge looter-shooter campaign game. The game is pretty damn optimal, which means that the software is doing what we want without wasteful cycles on bad processes. Pitchford went on to insist that PC gamers have tools that help them balance their preferences between FPS, resolution, and rendering features, and they should make use of them. If you aren't happy with the balance between these things you are experiencing, please tune to your preferences using the tools available to you, he said. Acknowledging everyone is entitled to an opinion, Pitchford insisted it was right for Gearbox to have focused on Borderlands 4's default settings hitting 30 FPS on minimum specs, and 60 FPS on recommended specs. Some of you would prefer more FPS, or more features, or higher resolution. We have provided many tools to help you make those trade-offs, he continued. You know what would make this a lot better? If you decided to make ray tracing an option instead of mandatory, if you didn't switch over to UE5 to use the advanced UE5 features for graphics in a game as cartoony as Borderlands, and if you actually spent some time optimizing. Instead, you completely skipped the optimization part of the game and just slapped DLSS on it and called it a day. That is not proper optimization. It is lazy. And the fact that you want to call this premium and do that shit is honestly pathetic. Then, in typical Randy Pitchford on the front foot fashion, it is a mistake to believe or expect that PCs between minimum specification and recommended specification can achieve all of extremely high frame rate, maximum/ultra features, and extremely high resolution. If that last post makes you have a negative reaction, I bet you have emotions and expectations that you feel aren't sufficiently attended to. I'm sorry, but please accept that the game is doing a lot and running pretty optimally, and that you may have to either accept some trade-offs between FPS, features, and resolution as your preference, or you will continue to be disappointed. I mean, dude, you could have summed this up by, we didn't optimize the game, lol fuck you, and I would have respected that more than this response that's just a slap in the face, honestly. You say it runs optimally, but all the performance benchmark YouTubers have posted videos of the game showing that that is a complete lie. Who the fuck do you think you're fooling, Randy? There's more. Pitchford went on to advise PC gamers should make use of DLSS, NVIDIA's AI-powered enhancement and rendering technology for GeForce RTX GPUs, downplaying concern about input lag. Use DLSS, it's great, he said. The game was built to take advantage of it. This is not a competitive FPS. And I have been led to believe that in a blind test, that humans cannot detect any input lag. In my own demonstrates and experiences, I believe this is true. Now, I've never noticed input lag caused by DLSS, but I have noticed input lag caused by frame generation, and I don't know if that is what he is trying to refer to here, but if he is talking about DLSS itself, he's not wrong, it doesn't really add any input lag. But you saying this game was built with the idea of upscalers in mind is just a way of admitting that you didn't care to optimize. I remember the Remnant 2 developers used this exact same excuse. The game was built around upscalers. Just say you didn't fucking optimize it. Everyone has the freedom to believe what they want to believe, and I know on the internet it's easy to find rage and passionate people who are convinced of all kinds of things, whether they are true or not. If you are so attached to the idea that DLSS is bad for your game experience because of something you saw or read on the internet, I am sorry. I hope instead you would use the technology designed to give you the experience you want. Now he is just straight up strawmanning us. Nobody is saying that DLSS itself is the problem. It's the fact that you tried to rely on it instead of using it as an additional tool for people to get an even higher frame rate on a already well-optimized game. Doom Eternal is a great example of this. I remember my RTX 2070 Super could run Doom Eternal pretty well on medium settings on my 1080p monitor, but when it comes to ray tracing and ultra settings, it struggled a lot. But I could use upscaling to make those higher graphic settings playable. However, the game was still playable without DLSS on medium settings, on high settings, without ray tracing. It was used as it should have been used. Unlike Borderlands 4, where it is pretty much required to play the game, even on good CPUs and GPUs. There's a reason you're getting hate, and the Doom Eternal developers did not when they decided to add DLSS into their game. It's because the Doom Eternal devs used it as a tool, whereas you use it as a crutch. There's more, but the rest is pointing out that Gearbox is continuing to improve Borderlands 4 and PC performance. There's an update out, although no one knows what it did. And to thank players for their interest, there are also a few real issues Gearbox is working to fix, but those affect a very small percentage of users. That's just one social media thread from Pitchford. There are more on this issue. He tweeted to say customer service reports for Borderlands 4 are roughly 1% of installs, and 0.04% are PC performance related, with CS flagging 0.009% as valid. 0.037% have experienced success with education. That is less than 1% of 1%, 0.01%, of customers using CS tickets for valid performance issues, which is less than 1/5 of the users using CS to get help with Twitch drops, Pitchford explained. Are we seriously so desperate that we're using customer support statistics in order to justify the performance? Come on, man, this is pathetic. Yeah, most people, when they notice a game has bad performance, are not going to call up customer support. They're simply going to refund or try to ignore it. Then, the kicker. This reality is dramatically different than what you would expect if your only sources of information were, say, certain internet threads. No such assumption made, Pitchford added in response to one person who pointed out not everyone with PC issues files a ticket. We are also looking at telemetry in real life regardless of what people report. There are people with low performance and we care about that. But 1% of 1 million is 10,000. Just 1,000 posts feels like everyone the way internet chatter works. Earlier in the weekend, Pitchford suggested people dead set on playing in 4K resolution should perhaps consider playing at 1440p instead. I know a lot of you are dead set on playing at 4K with ultra max settings and using 2 or 3-year-old hardware, he tweeted. You do you, but Borderlands 4 and UE5 are doing a lot for me and that trade-off for frames isn't worth it. I play at 1440p with settings super high and am super happy with that trade-off. The game looks amazing at 1440p. I like how he says 2 and 3-year-old hardware like that's a lot. Newsflash, in the PC world, that is nothing. 2 to 3 years is nothing. I mean, a 2-year-old GPU is the 4090. Not everyone is going out and buying a 50 series card straight away. You are delusional. Also, you're just assuming that everyone's trying to play at 4K ultra settings and that's why the performance might not be great for them. That's not the case. We can see the benchmarks. The game runs like shit on medium settings. The game runs like shit on lower resolutions. If you're not 4K stubborn and just want to have a great, fun time with higher performance, please consider running at 1440p resolution. If you've got a beast of a video card, you're probably fine at 4K. But if you're in the middle or close to minimum specs, I would definitely recommend making that trade. You say that people with a beast of a video card would be fine at 4K, but the benchmarks say that is a complete lie unless you want to use upscaling. And there have been further quotes, perhaps betraying a touch of frustration from the Gearbox boss, responding to one person who told Pitchford Gearbox would have been better off building the game for the most common hardware. He tweeted, Borderlands 4 is a premium game made for premium gamers. The minimum and recommended specs are published, he said. The most common hardware is a 4-year-old cell phone. Borderlands 4 is a premium game for premium gamers. Just as Borderlands 4 cannot run on a PlayStation 4, it cannot be expected to run on too old PC hardware. Unlike on PlayStation and Xbox, we cannot prevent a PC player with suboptimal hardware for the game try to play it. So some try and get mad, and some have actual issues we need to fix. And some need to learn how their PCs work at the high end for the specific game in 2025, and use the tools available to them to find the right balance between frame rate, resolution, and graphics features. This dude is unironically acting like our PCs are the problem when we can see that even high-end PCs are struggling with this game. He's acting like 3 to 4 year old hardware in the PC world is ancient when that is obviously not the case. Quit fucking lying to us. This is not a game made to run on 10-year-old PCs. This game uses the full capabilities of modern bus, CPU, and GPU. If you're trying to drive a monster truck with a leaf blower's motor, you're going to be disappointed. If you discover your system can't run the game well by accident or wishful thinking, and or don't want to try to mess with settings to make things good enough for you, please use the refund feature on Steam rather than have a subpar experience. And responding to one person who said Gearbox should make Borderlands 4 look good without using AI upscaling technology, Pitchford hit back with a dose of sarcasm. Code your own engine and show us how it's done, please. We will be your customer when you pull it off. The people doing it now are clearly dumb and don't know what they're doing, and all the support and recommendations and code and architecture from the world's greatest hardware companies and tech companies working with the world's greatest real-time graphics engine coders don't know what you seem to know. /sarcasm. I mean, what an asshole, dude. People just want a game to be well optimized because they are expected to spend $70 US on it, and you give this dickhead reply. I mean, I don't know what else to call it. Borderlands 4 launched last week and hit a peak of over 300,000 concurrent players on Steam alone, a figure significantly higher than any Borderlands game released on Valve's platform. However, Steam reviews are mixed, with most of the complaints revolving around PC performance. In response, Gearbox posted a Borderlands 4 NVIDIA optimization guide on Steam, advising players how to optimize their graphics settings for better performance and frame rates on PC with the NVIDIA app. Gearbox then issued a piece of advice to PC gamers that to me reads like an effort to prevent players from making knee-jerk reactions to the game's performance as soon as they've changed their settings. Please note that anytime you change any of your graphics settings, your shaders will need to recompile. Please keep playing for at least 15 minutes to see how your PC's performance has changed. And then they talk about shift codes, which I don't give a shit about. But yeah, that is Randy Pitchford's response. I'm pretty sure everyone could have seen this coming. I mean, it's Randy Pitchford. This dude is like a certified lolcow in the gaming industry at this point. And his reply did not disappoint, and at least it made for some pretty good content, I guess. But yeah, man, let me know what you think of Borderlands 4's performance down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of Randy's response, and yeah. If you like, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike, and I'm out.